feel like purpose is seasonal. Like in every season of your life, you have a different purpose. What do you think your purpose right now is? Like, what is your season that you're in, and what do you think your purpose in that season is?
Okay. I kind of, like, I agree with you, but, like, I would, like, word it differently for me. I think that, like, your purpose is consistent, but the way that you are, like, able to manifest that purpose, like, it shifts in seasons. And so, and I also think that everyone's purpose is tied to serving people.
Yeah,
like
100%.
I think that's like
serving people and bringing them to God.
Yeah, but I think that, like, your passions, like, God allows you, like, just because He is who He is, like, He lets you, like, fulfill purpose through your passions.
Yeah.
So everybody's passions are different.
Yeah.
You know, and so like, for me, I've always been passionate about youth. I've always been passionate about sport. I've always been passionate about like, service and like community, which is like why I was like making law make sense, because it was like, oh, I get to serve, you know, as an attorney, or you know, whatever the case may be. And I realized, like, that's too reactive. Like, you're in the system, and now, you know, and so then I realized, like, I like the interaction. Like, I like the people. I like instilling hope, and I like making, like, Black people feel like they really, like, are that, because we really are that, you know. And so I think that in this season, like, I feel like wherever I've been able to, like, fulfill purpose. Like, I was a server at Papa Dough, and, like, literally serving
Who are you
people.
a server at Papa Dough?
God, I know my life is a blur. Probably
25,
right? Probably right after I worked for FEMA. No, I'm like, I know, it's kind of crazy. It's
Wait,
crazy.
what?
And right before I was a substitute. So, right,
what?
There's a lot happening. Yeah, your girl keeps a job. Kyaira keep a job flag, and so I really do. So now in this season, like, I feel like I'm beginning to like reap harvest when it comes to, like, fulfilling passion. And I feel like I did, like, so much groundwork, and like God really took me through the scenic route, and, like, figuring stuff out and confirming, like, oh no, this is what I'm passionate about, and, like, this is how I want to fulfill purpose. And so now, like, I don't know, I think it sounds like so artsy, but I really do get to, like, help mold Black stories. You know what I'm saying? And, like, I get to sit in a, like, one, I get to serve as representation. Like, I didn't see Black women in creative spaces.
Nope.
And so for me, I was like,
well, who was the first Black woman you saw in creative space? Who
Deb.
really did it? Deb?
My mentor.
Really?
Yes, she was the first Black woman I saw
Who did I see?
in a creative space that was really doing it.
You know,
she was educated. She was just, like, boss. And I was like, I love that.
You know who I think my first one was? Let me actually think about it. Like, who I recognized was in a creative space and who actually made it was Issa Rae.
Issa's a good one.
Issa's a really good one.
Issa's a very good one.
She started on YouTube, had her own show. Yeah, that's the first Black girl that I saw.
And do you know how recent Issa is?
Yeah, 2015, right? Wasn't it? Something like that.
I don't know, but I know that I was old enough to sit here and watch Aqua, you know.
I was in college, yeah.
Come on.
Yeah.
And so that's sad. So I'm like, now I'm like, I feel like I really, okay. So even doing this is like a growth thing for me, and like really talking about like what I'm able to do now, or like what I'm doing, because I really have a hard time like celebrating my wins, and like,
because you're always like, okay, what's next, you're like, I expected that. I'm the same way though. I'm like, I expected that. Yeah,
come on. I'm like, but like I've always been like big on what's next, and also just like, I don't know, like I don't want to make like other people uncomfortable, or like,
why are we thinking that way though?
You know what I'm saying? And with like social media, I understand like people compare themselves and this and the other, and I feel like I don't want to share the good without you knowing the whole story. And I want you to know like, oh, it's good, but it ain't sweet.
Nope.
Like, you know what I'm saying? And so
here's what it took to get here.
And so what's really pushing me to like, girl, you need to share more, is because the representation is needed. And so I'm like trying to figure out like, oh, how can I, like, I'm a big like advocate of like, wherever you are, you might not think you're doing it, but like you're in a position to help somebody.
Definitely.
You know what I'm saying?
Always.
And so it's just like trying to figure out like how to help someone where you are, you know. And so for me, like, to the point of like the representation, and like I think that I'm like serving purpose through representation and like being able to be what I did not see. And like that blows my mind that like I can be what I didn't see.
Yeah.
You know, like, and no knock to like lawyers or attorneys, like I love them, but I've seen it, you know, and that's why I thought I can be it, you know. And so for me, like to have, like, I have a lot of,
I don't know why, sorry, it just slipped my mind. Oprah is a creative in a way. I think that was genuinely the first
you know
first
what?
one, but she wasn't labeled a creator.
You're very right. When I was in elementary school, these people came to our school.
Oprah
like,
came to your school?
No.
Oh, okay.
Girl, maybe like a radio station or something.
Okay.
They came to our school and they were like asking us in the crowd, like, who do we want to be like? And there's people that were like Beyonce, and like, girl, somebody said Little Kim, which is fine. But we were in elementary school. That's the only reason I was like, huh? You know. And they asked me, and I was like, Oprah. And they were like, oh,
yeah,
girl, they like wrote it. I think they wrote it in like my conduct folder. So my parents knew when I got home, like,
I don't know if
she
you remember.
said Oprah, and like everybody was impressed.
Let me tell you my Oprah story because I have a couple. But my first Oprah story was when I was in school too. I don't remember if it was middle school, whatever. But
you can't hear me drinking water.
No, you're good. I used to get in trouble all the time in class for talking. Like I used to finish my work and then I used to distract everyone else.
Right.
And
Us
so
talkative girls are really running the world now.
And Oprah used to get in trouble for talking in school too. My bad. but no. So it got so bad to where they had to have a parent-teacher conference with my parents. Right. My mom. This is whenever my mom proved that she was a ride or die for me. So she went to. I wasn't there, but she told me what happened when I got older. She went to the parent-teacher conference, and the teacher was explaining like she just finishes her work so quickly, and then she distracts everyone around her. And my mom was like, "Well, give her more work. Give her more work to do.
Fix that."
Yeah, give her more work to do. And she was like, Oprah did the same thing. Oprah was talkative. Oprah got in trouble for talking all the time. Just give her more work to do. I'm not going to stop my child from like
talking,
being herself. Yeah, and I'm like, that's when I knew she's a ride or die. But I don't know if you remember.
Why would you even think that's a solution?
Right, just give her more work to do.
Can you tell your kid to shut up?
The second thing was, I don't know if you remember, but in my like introduction for pageant, I mentioned.
I do remember didn't you do like a talk show?
It was a talk show theme. But for my introduction, I said something about Oprah, and I said something like being better than Oprah. And I remember every time I said it in like practice, everyone who came to practice would always be like, better than Oprah, okay, girl. And I'm just like, y'all don't know me though. Y'all don't know the type of person. You just know your time. Yeah, you just know the type of person that you are. And I thought it was very ballsy that I did that on stage, but I meant it.
Yeah, but you know what you got in you.
I meant it, yeah.
Okay, so the thing that I remember the most from my pageant intro that I really liked was I said something about like,
I wonder if I still
this
have
room,
it.
like the room didn't have space, like for my talent, like there was no space for me in the room. And like I remember like really feeling that, and like it kind of like now I have to like remind myself like take up space, take up space, take up space, because AOC does that. AOC's like take up space.
You're not doing it to diminish anyone else. You're doing it just to make sure that you're being you and your authentic self.
Right. And now that's really my biggest challenge, because like with like celebrating my wins and like, you know, like I've just been so like conditioned to like oh, you don't want to be like you don't want, and it's like I'm not bragging, like I'm just showing up.
I remember we both said like if you're an insecure person, you can't be around me because we
won't be able to be friends.
Yeah, I'm gonna make you so uncomfortable.
Yeah, and it's not me I'm not trying to be, but
I'm
not trying to
have
make
you experienced
you small.
it?
Yeah,
I have too. Yeah,
okay. I'm like, yeah, but it's like I don't want to make you feel small, but like I feel big, like I feel like I take up space, and it's like if you're not also occupying space, and you can feel like smothered, and you can feel, you know, overtaken, and I don't want you to feel that.
It makes me feel empowered. It makes me feel empowered.
They make people feel like that.
I like being around other people.
Yeah.
I like it when they're being their authentic selves and they're taking up space because it makes me feel empowered.
I was gonna say, Amber.
No. It makes no. No, when other people are taking up space and being themselves, it makes me feel empowered. Yeah,
and it's like a reminder, like that's right. I'm not taking up enough space. Right. Like, let me go ahead and move different.
Right.
So, yeah, I feel that, and I think that, like, you're right. Oprah, but I think that I didn't identify Oprah as a creative.
Issa was the true creative.
Yeah, I identified Oprah as like,
she took the traditional route.
A talk show host.
Exactly.
Yeah.
She literally took the traditional route of being a talk show host, and I feel like creatives are non-traditional. So that's why I probably wouldn't consider her as a creative.
And now she, like, when I say now, I mean like maybe within the last 10 years of her career, she starts like dipping into creative.
With OWN and all that, yeah.
But like, I used to watch Oprah show with my grandma.
I used to watch my mom all the time.
Yeah.
Every day.
So
I'm so happy for
I love that. And but okay, so Deb for me was
your mentor. Okay.
She was representation of like creative in a sense of like, she always labeled herself as someone who is creative. Okay. And like even the way she would like camp, she was my camp counselor. Oh. And then I started working at camp, so we were co-workers.
Okay. Is this church camp or what?
Yeah. Okay. Kids Across America. Oh, okay. You know. And and so she in Higher Ground, but she like even the way she would like write her name on her books, like everything was just very like unique. Yeah. And I remember the Trayvon Martin, the Zuckerman, whatever his name is, his trial went through. He was like found not guilty, and she had so much to say about it, and she was able to just like say it so well and so eloquent, and like she knew her stuff. And she was saying at that point, she was like saying things about how she wanted to work for Nike one day. And
wow.
I was just like,
how much older is she than you?
I think Deb's like 29.
Oh, she's not old at all. I'm over here thinking Deb is 40.
No. She's young.
Yeah, she's still a baby. She still has a lot to do.
Yeah, she went to Georgetown. They took care of her bachelor's and her master's. Wow. Yeah, she's really a boss. And truly. So, but like seeing that, that's what made me be like, but I felt like, okay, I could be a black woman that's creative, but I felt like she was like so close to me as far as like a black woman that was like in an elite creative space, like being Nike, and I was like, there's not a lot of us there, and I know one of them, so like there's no way. And we talked about this, and I was like, there's no way I could also be there because, you know. And you were like, no, when I see it, like that makes me think more so like, oh, it can happen for me, and I'd be in here like, no, I think it's too close. Yeah, you know, I have to do something.
You think that space has already been filled, so I can move on to another one?
Yeah, I have to do something else. And that's why Deb was like, let me show you that there's space for you here, you know. Yeah. And like she did really well at like empowering me through like what I had done. Like she was like, we ain't gotta talk it up, like you did that, you know, and like helping me become comfortable with like, I did do that, huh? You know. And she was like, Kyaira, like you did some crazy good stuff. And I was like, I did do some crazy good stuff. I think that, and I think this is ironic that we're talking about it because we did that poem together. Oh yeah. But
we should have recorded that.
Black women. Yeah.
No, actually, I was a different person back then though. I was gross. Not like
what?
Not like gross as in like perverted or anything, but like just like I look back on like my life and like my younger years, I'm like, oh, I had so much development to do and I didn't even know it. But
I mean, we're always developing.
True.
It's okay.
I just prefer the person that I am now, and I know I'm going to prefer the person that I am going to be in the future.
Yeah, and hopefully this person is not gross.
Yeah, so this person's not gross. I like her. I like her.
But we did that poem about like black women being like
the disrespected person in America.
Most disrespected person in America. Yeah. And I really like, the older you get, and just like the more you move around and like you leave your safe space and your community, and
it's so important to leave that safe space.
And you see like, oh snap, like black women really are not valued like that.
No, not at
all. Even like when it comes to like relationships, like you see that kind of stuff, and you talk about it in general, but when you like, it's actually applying to you about like, you know, foreign women being more, you know, like desirable, or like black women being labeled as having an attitude, but like Latina women are just spicy, and it's like
their attitude is sexy. They like it crazy. Like,
yeah, but for us, it's like, dang, why you always mad? Right. And it's like, you know what I mean?
You know, lately I have been seeing that die down a lot, though. Have you? Not so much.
Where do you see it die down at?
Maybe it's just because I'm not on
just
Twitter.
Like bring it to my attention.
Yeah, maybe because I'm not on Twitter as much as I was back in the day. But like in high school, I would see that all the time, that non-black women were way more desirable than black women. I guess now I'm starting to see like a shift in that. Like black men are starting to be like, no, I'd rather have a black woman in my life. Maybe it's because my audience has changed a little bit. Maybe it's because like I'm not on Twitter as much. But I definitely see a shift. What do you think?
I mean, I'm not on social media as much, but
or maybe it's because we just see it celebrate. I don't know.
I think that black women are celebrating black women more. Like I think that we are more.
Our generation's different than the older generation.
It's more common to see us like celebrate each other because like we realize like, oh, you go through that too. You know, like this is a thing, and we're no longer waiting for other people to be like, oh, black women are bomb.
Yeah,
like, black women tell black
because we're doing it ourselves.
Yeah. So I feel like that's where you see like they are looking for somebody, but I feel like that's where you see the like black women being edified more. It's like black women telling black women they're bomb. Yeah. And as far as men go,
as one walks by.
Yeah, I think that like the idea is coming around a lot more. Execution is still a little shaky, but I think that like they're coming around, you know. But I was raised by like an amazing black man.
You were, yeah.
My brothers are like amazing black men, and but like I speak in general. Like when I say like black men are coming around, and I think I know that because like I know how the black men in my household treat me, and I know how black men in these streets try to treat us, and it's not the same. It is not the same.
No, not at all.
And like the black men in my household, they listen to me. You know, they like check on me. They edify me.
Because they respect you, though.
They respect me. And black men in these streets, they just don't have it yet.
Do you think? I hate to say it. Do you think?
I think I know what you're gonna say.
Yeah. Do you think it has something to do with the way we women as like we present ourselves sometimes? What we allow, I guess, not present ourselves, but what we allow to happen in our lives and how we allow men to treat us. Do you think because they experience women who aren't there yet all the time, that they can treat every woman that way? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
When I say there yet,
I don't know. I have this new thing of like eliminating excuses for just men. If you encounter a woman who does not have a standard that she should have, raise her standard.
Definitely.
You know what I'm saying?
But it starts with how you view yourself. You can't just be like, ma'am, you're this, and this. She has to see it for herself.
I agree.
Yeah.
But I don't, like, I'm not going to say that, like, yeah, I think it's our fault because, like, we take it.
Yeah.
And so, like, that's why they still, because, you know, they're still encountering women that are okay with it. Because, like, you know right from wrong. Whether it's because you've seen right or you've seen wrong.
True.
Like, you either see wrong and you're like, that ain't it, you know, or you see right and you're like, okay, let me do that.
True.
Or, you know what I'm saying?
So it says something about their character.
It's
then.
you.
Yeah.
It's
that's
not
true.
us. It's
that's
you.
True.
You know.
If I see someone, you have to be self-aware. Like the men have to be self-aware of themselves.
You have to be self-aware as well.
Wrong.
Yeah, and everybody is responsible for themselves.
Yeah.
So, just like
that's good.
Oh, me and my friends were just talking about this. Like, you can't say like, thanks, girl. You can't say like if it's like, oh, you know, she trapped him. Like, come on. Like, no, you know, everybody is just equally responsible.
Right.
You know, you put yourself in that situation. Stop like victimizing men by saying like she trapped him.
Right.
Or
y'all both knew what y'all was doing.
Yeah. You know. And so I don't know. I'm just like, no, I don't think that anyone is, because look at us as women. Like we don't. There could be a man with no job, no car, no house, no, not for me.
Yeah,
so
right.
And like, there's a couple out there, you know, and
you see how comfortable I got? So,
yeah,
we should go with this one.
And I think that like And there's a woman who will treat that man like a king because it's like, oh, I see the potential. Oh, I want you to like
seeing
see
the
it in
potential.
yourself. I want you to feel it in yourself. I want that. But like, but
women do fall for
men
potential.
can do the same thing.
Women do
you know,
fall
like,
for potential.
You could be like, you know, I see it in you. I think you are beautiful. I want you to see that you're beautiful as well.
True.
Like, what movie is that? Everybody loves it. It's like a Star something. Star.
A Star is Born?
No, that's what Lady Gaga.
Oh.
It was the black girl. She was a pop star. He was like her security guard, and he like put in his hair in her curls.
I don't know.
Y'all know what movie you're talking about. Yeah. Though. But like he edified her and he really built her up. And I'm not saying that it's nobody's responsibility to
build someone up,
which is another conversation because we need to be okay with like not being married by 25.
I agree.
And, you know, and really just giving yourself.
But
time.
what's another conversation? Building someone up.
I was saying getting yourself together.
Okay. Do you think we should be responsible for building someone up?
I think that you should you should always want to leave someone like better than you found them.
Yes, true.
You know, like.
But do you think it's your job to teach them ambition? Do you think it's your job to teach them
like a man?
Yeah. Or vice versa, men with women.
No, I think that like it's no one's job to teach anything, but I think that like any encounter should be like mutualistic.
Yes, that's what I was getting ready to say. The vibe that I'm on right now is making sure that we're both feeding into each other.
Yeah.
Like you come whole, I come whole, and we are allowing each other to grow.
Like whether it's a romantic relationship or if it's just like a friendship or whatever, like you should just leave people better.
Yeah.
You know, and I think that like if everybody has a mindset of like I'm just gonna leave people better, then
I'm not going to disturb anyone's peace. I'm going to add to their peace.
Yeah, instead of you coming to someone like, this is what I need from you. Yeah, it's just no. You know.
That's what you need from God, babe. I'm not God.
I'm not the Lord.